Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 26th through August 1st. This is going to be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to check in here and see what we can expect in the week ahead. If you happen to stumble upon this video outside of that time, don't you worry, you found it whenever you were meant to find it. So we're going to just check in here and see what's coming up for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keep in mind these are general readings. Not every single message is going to resonate, but take what does and leave the rest. One more shuffle. All right, my dears. Let's get right on into it and see what's coming up in the cards. All right, first card is the Four of Wands, and this can be stability. I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings because they're focused on love and romance, and so in the whole kind of genre of love reading, Four of Wands has gotten typecast as marriage. Okay, and so this could be something some of you are heading towards or manifesting or renewing your commitment, even if it's just in your hearts, to an existing relationship. There can be that aspect for some of you. Those of you that watch my channel, you know that in the weekly forecasts, I do everything that I can to keep love out of it and focus on you and your journey and how the cards apply outside of love. And then every month I do a love reading, and I link that in the description of the video. So we'll see. We'll see if Spirit wants to talk a lot about love and romance in this reading. Sometimes that happens in the weekly. But traditionally speaking, Four of Wands can be like a wedding. It can come up as a confirmation that there is legal marriage on the horizon. Okay, this card also came up for Scorpio, albeit it was not their first card. So some of you could be dealing with stabilizing something with a Scorpio. Not necessarily, but it could be the case. And Four of Wands is going to be here sometimes about like a happy homecoming. Okay, like so maybe some of you are thinking about going to your childhood, like home where you grew up. Maybe some of you are wanting to travel to a place where your family originated from that you've never been or you haven't been to since you were a baby. There could be a sense or a feeling of like wanting to get in touch with your roots for some of you, because I do feel that vibe, and Spirit is showing me like roots growing deep into the soil. So some of you are looking at like laying down roots or having more stability in your life in the present moment, but you're going even deeper and you're thinking about like, where do I come from, and what is it like there, and what's the energy like there. Some of you might be getting really into things like genealogy and trying to track down your family history, but I see like a sense of travel. I know that's not traditionally associated with the Four of Wands, but I feel these are all the things that are coming up around this quest for a sense of home, a sense of stability, a sense of a loving, committed relationship. Capricorn, I feel some of you might somehow have come into touch with somebody from a place that is home for you or feels like home for you. Okay, I feel there's a long distance dynamic here, and so some of you are kind of moving a current situation forward on hold until you're figuring out what's happening with this other person. So maybe you're slowing down a romantic relationship, or maybe you're making it a point not to get too invested financially into things or properties or commitments, because you might be like, well, I don't know how long I'm going to stay here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I feel some of you might be preparing to travel to this, home or homeland to spend some time with someone in person to make up your mind or to decide what you want to do about the situation. Okay, but I do feel, Capricorn, regardless of whatever's happening in your love life, you're in the energy of establishing this abundance, this security, this sense of home, this sense of stability, soul tribe, friends who are like family surrounding you, all those wonderful things that are associated with the Four of Wands. The next card coming up here for you Capricorns is Two of Cups. I said sometimes, sometimes we get it. Sometimes we get in the weekly forecast where Spirit is going to talk about love and romance. Two of Cups is another love and romance kind of card that can indicate fulfilling relationships, soulmates, true love, all that wonderful energy, okay? So as I said, some of you are manifesting this kind of stability, this kind of relationship. Now, those of you who are like not at all about love, like you're all about the single life, you're good about the single life, you're happy in the single life, Two of Cups is still going to bring a message for you, and that could be reciprocal relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic. Two of Cups for me is when giver meets giver, okay? And they're both kind of giving each other. I love how the cards are here, because it's like this heart is coming down into this cup and then coming out and going in as like just like circling, right? Like the love just keeps flowing. The love keeps circling. And so there's a sense with the Two of Cups that you're beginning to manifest, collaborations, opportunities, friendships, relationships with people who are equally as invested as you are and who are giving to the situation. People who care how you feel, who think about how they can help, how they can make you happy. This is the kind of energy coming in. This is the kind of flow, right? Coming into this kind of energetic flow when the Two of Cups comes up. And as I said, obviously this can also be true love, soulmate love, a relationship that's going to last, because both people are thinking, how can I make the other person happy? What can I do for them today? These are the relationships that go on forever and ever and ever, because each person is thinking about the other and how they can be there for the other. Now, the next card coming up for you guys is the Seven of Cups. So I would like to draw your attention to something here, Capricorn. So far in your reading, over half your cards have been cup cards. We'll see what the next card is. If it's a cup card, then we'll say the majority of them. If it's not a cup card, we'll say half your cards are cup cards. But cups have to do with the realm of emotion. Okay, the realm of emotion and feelings. So we know, Capricorn, a lot of you are going to be in your feelings this week. Even though you might be an earth sign, you may be having those watery vibes, like just that whole realm of emotion and feeling. And some of you are very confused by your emotions. You're not sure what you want. Some of you have manifested something, and now that it's here, you're like, oh, but should I be focusing on this, or should I be focusing on something else? You're a little bit confused. You're a little bit uncertain. And so the Seven of Cups is going to come up when you have to make a decision what you want to focus on. Seven of Cups can also be like feeling like it's a dream come true, and that feeling for some of you might be a little bit off-putting, because you're like, wait a minute, what's the catch? When's the shoe gonna drop? When's the hammer gonna fall? There could be a sense or a feeling of like, do I trust this? Do I go in this direction? Do I put it on the back burner and focus on something else? So my advice to you whenever you're in that energy is to write down a list of what the options are, what are in these different cups, so to speak, and then one by one daydream. Imagine yourself having made that choice. Which ones feel best to you? Which ones give you a sense of happiness, a sense of fulfillment? Like, yeah, I like envisioning that. I like seeing myself there in the future. Which ones bring you the most happiness? And then you can start doing the research. Okay, what do I got to do to make that happen, right? Or you start making the game plan. Then you know which ones are the things you can start on now, which ones are the things that are going to have to be long-term goals down the road in the future. So you don't have to get stuck, okay? You don't have to get stuck. Also, sometimes the Seven of Cups comes up for me in my readings with the message of giving yourself permission to want what you want. So maybe you're manifesting something that is not very mainstream, or maybe you're manifesting something very different from the dream that your family or your parents had for you. And Seven of Cups is saying you have to give yourself permission to want what you want. The next card coming up for Capricorn is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is a major arcana card. And when the major arcana cards come up, they're going to come up when we're at a significant crossroads. We're coming into a defining chapter in our life. And it's very powerful energy. Okay? Anytime that we're at this kind of defining moment or crossroads, our angels and guides are here with us to help us through those changes and through those shifts. The High Priestess can be associated with both Pisces and Taurus. So if you have those placements, they could be coming up like full circle in your life right now. You may be dealing with a Pisces or Taurus. You may be stepping into High Priestess energy, or you may be coming across a High Priestess kind of person. High Priestess is very confident. High Priestess can even be seen as unconventional. High Priestess is very alluring, very magical, okay? For me, in my readings, High Priestess tends to come up for people who've been on a path of healing and their chakras have cleared, their chakras are aligned, and they have this, they're connected to higher self, they're connected to God, to universe, and they have this delicious energy flowing through their body. They're enlightened, they're aligned, they've been doing their healing, and they have this very irresistible energy about them. You might be stepping into that energy, or you may be encountering a High Priestess. Okay? Now, the message for the High Priestess, however, is not everybody who wants the High Priestess gets to have the High Priestess. Because a lot of the people who are flocking towards the High Priestess, and they will be very persistent. They will be very persistent. But they're flocking towards her because they want to latch onto her and feed off of her energy. Okay? Whether they realize it or not, that's why they're so drawn to her. And this can feel very intoxicating even for the High Priestess to have this kind of energy exchange, even though it's parasitic for her. But at the end of the day, the High Priestess has to protect her energy. She's not here to be supply for others, right? There could be an element here of the whole kind of like narcissist supply kind of situation. Some of you maybe are breaking out of that. Maybe you've manifested narcissists and you were supply for them for a long time and you're breaking out of that. Some of you might be checking yourself and asking yourself, have I been clingy with others? Have I fed off others? I'm hearing emotional vampires. So maybe some of you are trying to get away from emotional vampires, or are questioning if you've ever done anything that people could mistaken you for an emotional vampire. But I feel here there's like this checking yourself in terms of the energy you're getting, the energy that you're giving out. Some of you are being very like self-examining, like you're examining yourself. High Priestess though also is intuition, and so a lot of you are being asked to overcome your fears and embracing your intuition with the High Priestess being here. Okay? I would really suggest and recommend watching your moon sign and rising sign videos, because some weeks are going to resonate with you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Unfortunately, there is somebody going around commenting on the comments and emailing people, pretending to be me and saying something along the lines of, I have a really important message, send me money, and I'm gonna like expedite you to the front of the reading line, and I'm gonna do the reading and get it out to you. I don't do that to people. First and foremost, I don't have expedited readings available. Secondly, I've never reached out to anybody with that kind of approach. I always figured if somebody wants a reading with me, they're going to book a reading with me. I'm not going to go to somebody and say, oh, it's really important, send me money and I'm going to tell you what's going on. I don't do things that way. I never have. I never will. So the only way to schedule a private reading with me is calendly.com/amethystangelite. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Love readings for July are linked in the description. August love readings will be up soon. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Take care, my dears.